Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of the Open One podcast. And today I'm joined by an old friend of mine, Jack Tatchell, and we got in touch. We were sort of in touch many years ago, and I remember seeing a social media post or something. I'm like, Jack's awake.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, welcome to the show, Jack.
Yeah, thank you, brother. First of all, thank you for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity, and I know you've had a lot of esteemed guests. Namely Dr. Robert Malone. I know you've done an interview with him, and I personally appreciate a lot of everything that he's doing in his space. But yeah, my name's Jack. I'm 25 years old from Essex. I'm a business owner. I think of myself as a masculinity maximalist.
Oh, I
With a
like
lot of
that.
strong. Yeah, it's a good one, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I've got a lot of strong perspectives, a lot of strong views, and yeah, looking forward to having a chit chat with you, mate.
So go on, unpack. What's a masculinity maximist?
A maximalist is someone that does everything they can to become that which they are a maximalist of. So a masculinity maximalist would be that, just doing everything you can to be the most masculine person that you can be.
And can you give us some examples
So
of that?
just being a strong, capable person, just being a strong, capable man,
Yeah.
just being a leader, a role model for the people around you. I've got a niece and a nephew who's a newborn. My sister Josie, who she's just had her second child, and yeah, I just want to be well for my own kids in the future as well, of course, but just the most masculine role model I can be for them, and just to show them. I'm quite um, a believer of masculine roles and feminine roles. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that we've lost in society. So I'd quite like to sort of implement that in everything that I do.
Okay, that's awesome. And was there like a defining moment when you was like, okay, I need to just go all in on, being a solid role model, or has it just sort of happened gradually, naturally?
Yeah, that's a good question because I mean, so in 2020, I was vegan, and I know this
Oh
is
no.
it sounds I know I'll fucking know, and that sounds like a bit of a digression from your question, but I think the vegan agenda and the whole sort of woke agenda is just trying to make people and especially men become less masculine, and that's one of the most important things that we need in society is masculine men becoming role models and good role models for society. And yeah, so it was 2021 over Christmas I started to eat meat again, saw how much more energy I had, saw
Yeah.
how much just reaped the benefits from that. And then last year a lot of listening to Andrew Tate sort of made me become a 10 times better person as opposed to who I used to be.
I love that. See, that's a straight up testimonial of the power that hate can actually have in
Yeah, yeah.
the hands of the right people. And okay, there's a couple of questions there, but I'm curious, what was why did you decide, okay, I'm gonna just eat a fucking steak or whatever it is that you ate?
um, I I just had I needed to change. There was such a long period of time where I wasn't happy with number one, my body, my shape, and my mindset. And I just wanted to go back to eating meat. So it really was just as simple as, just thinking, fuck it, although I throw my hands up and just completely admit to the fact that I was kind of indoctrinated by that vegan agenda. And that's something that I'm not ashamed of, but it's not one of my proudest things that I've done in my life. But yeah, it just got to the point where it was just too much. And reading into seed oils, how much they can affect your hormones, that sort of thing, and just sort of the realization that we're humans, we've been eating meat for the entirety of our existence. So why am I now stopping eating meat and only eating shit, chemical processed crap that they're pushing, which isn't food, it's just fake food.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just that whole realization and just thinking, fuck it, basically.
Absolutely. I couldn't imagine living as a vegan. But now, at least you've like, he's talking about being a role model, an example for people. You can like talk about that you've gone through that. You've tried being a vegan, you realize it didn't work, you ate meat and you felt great again. There'll be people that could benefit from hearing that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is just to do with what the government wants for you. How much they spend on the whole vegan agenda, and even just goes down to the stuff that they say about climate change. The fact that the cows are making it so the earth is heating up, which is just complete fucking nonsense. And you just think you just have to look at it with just a perspective of rationality. Because we've been eating meat for, as I say, the entirety of human existence. Why is it that now they're pushing this vegan agenda and throwing all these different excuses out there? It's just bollocks.
Absolutely, yeah, and we can get into the whys, but I guess simply it's like just to keep people weak, I suppose. It does seem like a big part of it. Um, okay, cool. So we just move on to your business, and I think this is really awesome. You're only 25 years old, and you've already got this. It looks quite professional and well established. I actually have a tab open here. What was the inspiration behind starting this, man?
So yeah, with the business, to say it's a good question, because ever since I started working when I was 17 years old, stacking shelves in Tesco, I always knew I wanted to be a business owner, and to be my own boss and to create freedom for myself and my family. I just knew that I wasn't put on this earth to be in the 9 to 5 rat race like a lot of people out there are right now. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. Many people find fulfillment within that. But for me, I just always knew that it wasn't going to provide me with the fundamentals of what makes me happy. And so, yeah, in 2019, I found myself in that 9 to 5 rat race, waking up every day, going to a job I hated with a dickhead of a boss. And everyone's energy was just so negative, and I just felt absolutely drained by having to converse and interact with these fucking energy vampires. And at the time, this was shortly after my spiritual awakening, so I had a lot going on in terms of spiritual development and experiences, and just a whole lot to process in that regard. But long story short, I just kind of fell into web development and marketing solutions because my mum needed a website, as she's a psychic medium, and she wanted a place online for people to go and get in touch with her for readings. And from there I started to learn WordPress, a little bit of code, and in 2020, when all the bullshit happened with COVID, I left my job and took the leap into building my own business. Providing websites and marketing solutions for businesses and individuals around the UK.
And is all of that taught sort of self-taught online?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, man. So even all of the coding, like where did you learn that?
Just trial and error, if I'm completely
Really?
honest. Just trial and error. I know there's tons of free resources out there for learning HTML, CSS, anything you want basically. But for me, I haven't actually taken any of these courses. It's just been trial and error.
That's awesome, man. And I know the course that you can get like an entire university thing, right? An entire thing, like 20
Yep.
lessons, hours each, all for free on YouTube if anyone's interested. But I think that's amazing, man, to take that upon yourself, to self-teach yourself. Good on you, bro. So
Appreciate it.
yeah, so what's been like some of the challenges of setting all of this up?
It's another good question. I mean, it's a big question because although I feel like I've always been, have been professional, a professional in terms of how I articulate myself and how I present myself in professional situations and environments. At the start of the journey, a big thing for me was just simply making the switch from being an employee to a collaborator. And what I mean by that is, when you're an employee, you just say yes. You don't have a chance to sit there and discuss the terms and conditions or the scope of works. You're not able to set boundaries with the people you do business with. because ultimately, that's not your job, and you're just there to do the work, go home when it's time to go home, and collect your minuscule piece of the pie each month. But as a business, when you're offering a service to someone, you then get the opportunity to set boundaries, to say no to an existing or prospecting client when they're asking for unreasonable expectations or requests. And at first I wasn't used to that, so I was so accustomed to the bot mindset of yes sir, no sir, and just doing whatever the fuck I was told to do. So although this was a big challenge for me, it was something that I really enjoyed taking on board, into my personality, because being assertive and having strong boundaries and fucking opening that throat chakra and just saying whatever you feel is something that I've now integrated into my personality and my energetic field. And there's some of the qualities that I now possess, and they're readily available to me all the time.
That's awesome, man. And I like how you tie that into your chakras and your energy field there. That's really cool. So we jump into spirituality for a moment. You mentioned your spiritual awakening. Like, what happened?
Oh, mate. One of the biggest questions you could have asked. I think, there's a general rule for spiritual awakening, and whatever end of the spectrum that is. I think there's always some kind of catalyst that ignites the journey. So for me, it was exactly that. It was trauma, it was pain, and it was uncomfortable experiences that led me into my awakening. I won't go into the details of everything that I've experienced, but essentially at the end of 2018, when I was a completely different person to who I am now, that person's unrecognizable. But I went to an event at the end of 2018 for spirituality, and during a guided meditation led by the head of the event at the time, I was met with a very profound and euphoric experience where I believe anyway that I met source energy, and ever since then it's just been a crazy journey of downloads, astral projection experiences, spiritual development, and just a fuckload of what the fuck is going on,
Okay,
and
we're gonna have to jump into the astral travel there. What happened? Speak about that. What happened?
So my spiritual awakening's been very third eye predominant. So a lot of the it's just when I'm laying in bed, for instance, I'll be laying in bed trying to go to sleep at night, and all of a sudden my third eye will just completely expand and open up, and then next thing you know, I can quite literally feel my energy being sort of pulled from my body. And although I'm still conscious in my body and in my person, I can feel my energy just being pulled out, and I'll just travel to a different realm. And
Jeez.
it's fucking scary, mate. It's scary as shit, and it's not something that I've practiced or that I've necessarily wanted. And as a matter of fact, I've worked on it in terms of just grounding myself better so that it doesn't happen just on a whim.
Yeah.
But and met a lot of energies along the way in these astral projection experiences, and they are fucking scary, as I say.
I'm just assuming here, but I guess that because your mum is involved with this, it's given you a bit of a leg up in this kind of world, man. What do you think about that? You ever considered that?
Oh, absolutely, mate. She's my guide for a lot of things that I've been through. And we're extremely close, me and my mum. And I'm extremely blessed to have been through my awakening with someone there that's been there to guide me. Which is, it's just been like you say, a major leg up.
So I'm curious, you say you speak about your third eye opening. How do you know that that's happening? Is it like your eyes are closed, you start seeing things, or is it a sensation, or how do you know it's happening?
So it is quite literally a physical sensation. I can feel. It's like it's directly where you would assume the third eye would be, or where it actually is, the pineal gland. And yeah, I can literally feel like it is like an eye, and my eye starts doing that. I know you do a video version and a audio version, so the people on audio listening won't be able to see my hand, but it's like my hand's opening up, and yeah, it starts blinking, starts twitching, and all of a sudden I'm met with a lot of sort of guidance and wisdom just from what I believe to be source.
That's amazing. And have you ever seen like your own body?
Sorry, say that again.
Have you ever like seen your own body from out of your body?
Yeah. So
Wow.
actually, it's funny you say, because it was only the other week that I was laying in bed and I had one of these sort of just random astral experiences, and it's like almost being like a fly on the wall or on the ceiling, and I do have that ability to be able to just look at myself almost. And it's not like a look, maybe it's not like I've got a pair of eyes elsewhere, but I can certainly like envision that and sort of feel myself from afar.
That's fascinating. And yeah, you definitely want to be able to get that under wraps so you can sort of switch it on and off. You're like, tonight I'm going to travel, or tonight I'm not going to travel, or whatever. To
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that happen spontaneously is a bit of an issue.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just imagine you're laying in bed with a woman or something. He's like, okay, bye.
yeah,
I'm off
yeah,
now. All right.
yeah, yeah.
Have you ever heard of someone called Robert Monroe?
I haven't.
Interesting man, and he did a lot of experiments with astral travel. And he once, what he would do with his friends, shit, maybe we could do something like this. But basically, he would get into his state, he'd go into his astral travel, and he'd have his friend the other side of town, and he would, his friend would be doing something, and he'd know the exact time, exactly what he's wearing, blah blah blah. And then Robert would come in, he'd see his friend doing whatever he's doing. Then he'd come back, report to him, and be like, "Yeah, you were doing this. You were wearing this at this time," and he got it completely accurate. You
Oh
think like,
shit! Wow.
yeah,
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 right. Because that's what's curious about astral travel is it's slightly different to like lucid dreaming or if you're just meditating and it's your actual imagination. Because from my understanding is your soul, your consciousness is actually leaving your body. It's still sort of here, but you can go places in
yeah,
this
yeah.
reality via your soul, which is this is next level, man.
Yeah. As I say, it's scary stuff, and I appreciate you saying that to sort of get it under lock, because and it is something that I've been working on. I've been going out and grounding myself more, just getting my feet on the grass and that sort of thing. So it's something that I'm actively trying to work on. But to be honest, I don't hate that it does happen randomly. I mean, it more so happens when I'm in bed trying to go to sleep at night, and at first, as I say, it was extremely scary. I didn't really know what the fuck was going on, but definitely these days, I'm more sort of just to accept the journey.
Mm-hmm.
When I start to feel that energy, my energy sort of leave my body and my consciousness go to a different place. I certainly nowadays just more so, just allow it to happen and just enjoy that ride.
Fascinating, man. Really. Okay, cool. So whilst we're on the subject of you sort of grounding yourself, stuff like that, what would be like your self-care routine? How do you take care of yourself?
Um, Yeah, so my self care routines, it's very very simplistic in terms of my physical health. I train as often as I can with my brother Ethan, and we keep each other on track in regard to with regard to diet and supplements. And we stick to a nice manageable routine that sort of honors our body's needs, and um, I think taking care of your physical health, in turn, as a consequence, your mental health gets better.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
and I truly believe that a strong body equals a strong mind, and that especially goes for men. As I was mentioning earlier, men are meant to be strong and capable members of society, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. So, taking care of all realms of health is a massive thing. If you want to achieve anything.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, spot on. Okay. And uh you mentioned him a bit earlier, so let's talk about him a little bit. Like Andrew Tate, huh? It's such a controversial figure, but I'm yet to meet a young man that follows his stuff that doesn't like him. Like they're like, yeah, he's amazing. He's
No,
either really funny or he helped me with this or his perspective. It's like he's great for young men. I don't see what the deal is. But then when you look at maybe why the
yeah,
Matrix
yeah.
is like scared of him, I mean, what do you think?
Well, the people that don't like him or his stuff. I mean, they're just completely indoctrinated by mainstream media, and they just haven't got a clue what's actually going on with in that regard. You know, they don't understand that they're being controlled and, you know, being told to believe something that isn't necessarily true. And yeah, with regard to Andrew, he's just I mean, anyone that gets locked up by a government is good in my books. If you you know, if you're being locked up unnecessarily by the government because you've got so much influence over a population and a demographic of people who can potentially overthrow their agenda, then
Yes.
yeah, you're good in my books. I mean, I don't believe any of the claims that are being thrown against him. And I think, yeah, the sooner he's out, the better. So, yeah, I just absolutely love what he's doing for, particularly the masculine space.
Absolutely, and it's very hard, like as you know, as a young man, to listen to his stuff and just not feel fucking motivated. I just listen to this guy, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go,
I know.
man. Let's just get it, go. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Makes you want to go fucking hunt a lion or some shit, right?
absolutely. And I was seeing, I just posted it today actually about schools running workshops for boys to counter toxic influence of misogynist
Oh,
Andrew Tate. I mean, holy fuck! Like, how
yeah,
scared are they of this man?
yeah, yeah. Well,
Madness.
the agenda is to, you know, to emasculate men, and he's doing the complete opposite to that.
Exactly.
So they're going to push that on the school systems. They're going to push it on TikTok and social media, and have people follow people who don't agree with Andrew Tate. You know, so yeah, no, as I say, he does make you just, you know, you listen to his stuff. I've actually got so many recordings of you know, I don't have TikTok, but just Instagram reels and YouTube shorts of him that I listen to quite religiously. You know, I'll go on there if I'm feeling a bit down. You know, I'll go on there and listen to some Tate, and, you know, picks me right back up.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I feel that. Same here. Okay,
Mm.
cool. So, um, you know, you see, you've got your business. It's all online. Are you gonna be just stay in Harwich, or are you gonna go? You know, you could do this online anywhere, like I do. You ever consider?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely have. I mean, that was the whole reason I kind of started it. You know, well, part of the reason that I started it, you know, because I wanted to travel, I wanted to go see the world. But when I did start it in 2019, obviously 2020 came around and everything got locked the fuck down, so I couldn't really go anywhere. But yeah, the intention is to, you know, travel the world, see the world. But yeah, I'm sort of torn between whether or not I want to stay a freelancer or, you know, become an official agency, you know, and hire people and sort of have someone manage it for me to then allow me in the future to go and travel. So yeah, I'm kind of torn between the two. I mean, there is a part of me that wants to go travel and see the world still, but and then there's that other part of me that wants to stay locked down, earning money, just building my empire. So
You can do
yeah.
both, man. At the
Do you
same time.
reckon?
Yes, I'm doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah,
Yes, my friend. Uh, once you've got it all online, you know, there's nothing tying you to anywhere, and then you can still build up your skills, still build up your knowledge, still build up your clients, still do all of the work that you do. You just need a good internet connection. Um, there are obviously some downsides about, you know, you obviously have to keep making new friends and stuff like that. But for me, at least for right now, the plus is way higher for
yeah.
doing it like this. And like you say, in the future, most likely will settle down, but maybe when I'm like 40.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm the same. I'm, you know, I'm not looking to settle down in any particular place, but at the minute I still live at home, so, you know, I've got everything pretty
You
good
save a
right
lot of
now.
money on rent, eh?
That's the thing, you know. I'm not looking to, you know, get a mortgage or get into any of that yet, but yeah, it's something that I'm definitely looking towards in the future, and maybe sometime this year, you know, I'll be able to. I mean, my number one place I do want to go to, even though, you know, some people will call me crazy for it because it's such a fucked place, probably the number one fucked place in the world, America. I
Yeah.
want to get out there, but obviously, when you're unvaccinated, you can't. So,
What is it about the States that draws you there?
just the people, the values that they have, and yeah, just the culture there as well. Although, as I say, it's pretty fucked in terms of there's such a duality.
Yeah, there's both ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah, but I feel like I wouldn't go to any of these. I wouldn't go to New York or LA. I'd go to the southern states and be there for a while. But yeah, that would be my number one place to travel to.
Yeah, man, I want to go there too. I haven't done a big trip there, so the States is definitely on my
Yeah,
list.
need to get Trump back in so we can actually go there whilst being unvaccinated.
Oh yeah, do you think he's going to get back in?
No, I don't know. It's one of those things where a lot of people call Trump a psyop, but who fucking knows at this point? Who fucking knows?
Yeah, I've interviewed potentially some of the best minds or one of the best minds in my opinion on the planet, and he had a very interesting analysis or sort of take on what's going on with Trump and Elon and Q and how it all could be tied together. He's mentioning time travel or Nikola Tesla and how that's playing into it. I'm just like, wow, holy shit! I mean, it just sounds like a film. I mean, even if it's not true, it's like,
Yeah,
this is amazing.
yeah.
I think he's going to get back in. Actually, I think he's got a quite.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's going to blow a lot of people's minds.
I hope it does, mate. I hope it does. And if he is to get back in, I don't care what he does, apart from just let me in America, mate. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Just take
Yeah,
take that vaccine entry requirement away, and I'll be happy.
absolutely. Okay, cool. So there was something that you spoke about a little bit earlier that I'd just like to touch upon, and it was about the fundamentals of what makes you happy. Now, what are those fundamentals?
Um, very good question. I think it's the number one thing is health, because you can't be happy without your health. You know, as I say, whether or not that's physically, mentally, spiritually, financially as well. I think all those they're all variables that you need to have on a pretty good, not on lock, but a pretty good balance of to be able to achieve a fundamental basis of happiness. But and then you've got your other things like relationships. You need to have good relationships. You need to be around good friends, good family, and have good times in that respect. And then there's the thing of fulfillment. Whether or not you're actually being fulfilled in what you do on a day-to-day basis. If you, as I said earlier, if you're going to a 9 to 5 job every day where you've got a dickhead of a boss, and you're getting a half an hour lunch break every day, and you're getting back, starting work at 7 a.m, not getting back till sort of 7 o'clock at night. That's ultimately, for a lot of people, that's not going to make you happy. So I think it's lifestyle as well. Lifestyle is such a massive thing, and I think if you don't have a plan to get out of that 9 to 5, if you are unhappy about it, then obviously you need to fucking get one.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and change your lifestyle. And and the thing is with happiness, nobody's going to make you happy. And this is one of the things that I've learned sort of the hard way, is that your happiness cannot be dependent on someone else's availability for you, or someone else's ability to make you happy, because that's not real happiness. Happiness, it sounds generic and corny, but happiness truly does come from within. And
yeah, man.
you're the only person that can save yourself.
Love that. Absolutely. Okay, cool. And you mentioned about having the freedom sort of working when, well, more of a choice of when you work. So what time do you usually start work? How long do you work in a day, and when do you close shop?
My schedule's pretty fucked. So when I first started web development, I was working with a lot of people in the US. I've got a good friend, and not client, but someone who I collaborated with a lot, who I haven't actually spoken to in a while, which I need to catch up with him. And essentially, yeah, obviously the Americans, they're awake later in the day for us here in the UK. So I got sort of in this routine where I'd start around, and this is still to this day, start work around 9-10 a.m. and then, you know, I'll work till about 4:30, go to the gym, get back, cook dinner, eat, shower, get back to work till about 1-2 a.m. in the morning. So it's pretty fucked, but to be honest, I like it. I like the freedom to do what I want when I please. And as I say, some days, you know, they're busier than others. Other days I can, you know, take a break, have a couple more coffee breaks than maybe I should, but play a few games of chess even. But I quite like having the freedom to choose my own schedule, because I just believe that that's one of the fundamentals for me, is that, and that's what makes me happy, is just having that freedom to decide. You know, if somebody asks me to go on a meeting, that I can choose whether or not I want to at that time, or if I've got something that I wanted to go to the gym at that time on that day. So, can we reschedule, that sort of thing? So, yeah.
Absolutely. Same here, man. It's very appealing to have that freedom, sort of whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool, man. Well, I think we covered a lot of ground here, and it's been really fascinating hearing about your story. So, okay, you mentioned a couple directions it could go, but if you was to, like, say 5 years time, where would you want to be with your business? Where would you want to be in the world?
Ooh, 5 years time. I'm not sure on the specifics, but enough wealth to be financially free, to do what the fuck I want when I want. And I think that's about it, to be honest, because it's not. And of course, you know, all the things that come with that, you know, me being healthy, my family and my friends, my loved ones being healthy, or of course, all that good stuff. But just in terms of, you know, my vision for the next 5 years, I don't actually like to put too much of a specific destination on that. It's more so the feeling. I think that's how manifestation works better. You know, if you don't put a dedicated destination on where you'd like to be, if you just focus more on the feeling. So the feeling that I'd like to have is the feeling and the reality of financial freedom, to do what the fuck I want when I want. And just building on the empire, you know.
Love that, bro. And yeah, until you get there by 30 or younger, you're fucking sorted, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So have you got anything else you'd like to share with the people whilst I got you here?
No, I think we've covered fucking loads. But yeah, no, again, just thank you for having me on, mate. I really appreciate the opportunity, and it's been a good little experience, and I'd love to come on again sometime.
For sure, man, definitely. And yeah, like, it was just like, what was it like? I think it's like 1 a.m. I just checked my story, and it's like Jack coding. I'm like, what's this man up to?
Yeah.
What's he building? Looks interesting, and here we are. So yeah, man, we'll stay in touch, and good luck with it all.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Nice one, bro.
Awesome.
See you.
Cheers. Take care, mate.